What's up, everyone? Coach Megan here, continuing on in our veteran series. Today we're going to be commiserating about the silliest and dumbest things people have said about a pageant woman's character. We hope you'll go online to Powerhouse Pageantry to add yours. Let's dive right in. Welcome to the Powerhouse Podcast, hosted by sisters, former Miss Nebraskas and a Miss Nebraska USA, and expert coaches Allie Swanson Mancuso and Megan Swanson Rhodes. Every Tuesday, we bring you a life-changing, challenging, and activating episode to help high-achieving women win their pageants, massively transform their mindsets, and dominate all aspects of life, including elements both inside and what most consider traditionally as areas outside of pageantry. Allie and Megan coach high-achieving women in all 50 states and beyond, and live to see women conquer their dreams. If you're not already part of our Powerhouse Club, join the fastest-growing group of winning pageant queens on the planet, linked in the show notes every single week. Now, let's get on to this week's episode. Hey everyone, Coach Megan Rhodes here, and I'm very excited to kind of have a girls' chat today. We're going to talk about the 5 biggest misconceptions of your character as a pageant queen. And I am so excited to see the comments on this post because I'm sure, unfortunately, we all just have so many stupid comments that have been said to us as pageant women. And as kind of rounding out our pageant veteran series, I'm excited to commiserate together, but also just to help you communicate through the commiseration and just let you know that you're not alone. So I think the first time that I had something really stupid said to me as a pageant title holder and have my character misrepresented, number one, in kind of a funny way, is when people go to the length of hiring you for an event and they don't even know what your freaking title is. Like, I can't tell you how many times as Miss Nebraska USA, I was called Miss Nebraska. Or as Miss Nebraska, I was called Miss Nebraska USA. And I'm like, guys, it's on my bio, my social media, across my chest. Literally just read. So proving that people are not as smart as we think they are. Number 2, the misconceptions are that we're really dumb. And raise both hands if that's happened to you. Oh, wait, that's all of us. And one of the things that I love about our industry is that we have the opportunity to take back what people perceive that beautiful women are. And we get to break the misconception that women can't be beautiful and strong and communicative and intelligent and emotionally mature. And if there's one thing that pageants have taught me is that women can be it all. Women can do it all. And, you know, now that as I'm married as of a few weeks ago and just thinking about the next steps even in my life, I'm already planning, and my company as a whole is planning for when we want to have babies and now take even further steps. And you know what? Like, obviously, children add a whole new level of self-sacrifice to the mix and all of this. But there are so many amazing women who have gone before me who have had a work-life balance and pursued their calling and their dreams and also been a mother. And I'm just so sick and tired of people telling women all the ways that they can't. So if you're listening to this, I am sure that you are a powerhouse woman inside and out. And I just want to encourage you to get laser focused on the dream that God's put in your heart, the vision that God's put in your heart, the thing that you feel called to, the people that you feel called to, and make sure that you run at it with everything that you have. Because you know what the Lord, God promises that we'll run and not grow weary and walk and not be faint, that will rise up on wings like eagles, and that he'll protect us as we do it, that we won't even dash our foot against a stone. And I think oftentimes when we have our character called into question, it's really easy to grow faint and to grow weary in doing good. But God says not to grow weary in doing good. And if we keep pursuing that, we fight the good fight of faith. That's how we receive the promises of God, is through faith and patience. And so I just want to encourage all that whatever stupid thing that someone has said to you lately, it sucks because if you're a personality like me, your natural instinct is just to rise up and call somebody out. But obviously that's not appropriate or the right response always/ever. However, I will say that there have been some times too where I've politely led someone to a different conclusion. I won't say corrected them, but I will say led them to a different conclusion because we do have to stand up for what we are and what we're not. And I think that sometimes there's still a little yuckiness in terms of the old boys club of, how they think like, oh, this pretty face with a crown is just here. And it's like, no. In fact, I stopped taking appearances where I couldn't speak like a long time ago. I just wasn't going to show up to a 5K race and just stand there and wave. I'm not an object to be looked at. I'm a voice to be heard, and I have a message that can change the world. And so I just want to encourage you, there's no such thing as a dumb and empty pageant queen. And there's no such thing as, number two, a too strong pageant queen. There's no such thing as a too anything. A friend of mine shared this with me a couple years ago, and they called it the too fairy. And if you notice that you're using to this, to that language, that's the too fairy speaking. And as I'll talk about on episode, or as I talked about in episode 157 coming up before this, if you ever use the word enough in a sentence, you're probably inviting shame into your language as well. So just be mindful of that, because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Everything about you is awesome and is also growing and developing. Now, I will say, like, I used to be harsher than I am now, but I was never too strong, if that makes sense. I wasn't too strong. I just wasn't mature in a way that I needed to mature yet. And the way that I was acting was out of an insecurity and something that needed to still be buffed out a little bit, right? But the answer wasn't, oh, be less strong. It was just learn how to be the refined version of strong, to where you're a little bit more emotionally aware and you're not operating out of hurt. You're not operating out of something that needs to be held up to the light of the Lord, just to be refined a little bit. Does that make sense? Another thing that I think is a total misconception of our character is that beautiful, tall, tall, short, intelligent, whatever, pageant women are this like mystery. And I actually think that we are it all. And it's okay to be a lot. It's okay to be everything that you are. And I think it's really important to define those things that you are. We work on branding a lot with all of our clients. And if you're in the Powerhouse Club, get ready, because we have that coming up in September. In October, we're doing a total social media overhaul branding. It's going to be like so dope. We built the coolest social media planner in the world that can help you plan 30 days of content in 60 minutes. It's a literal life-changing device. Anyways, but I think it's really important to, along the lines of that, write out who you are, write out what your brand is, have some kind of a morning formula. We call it the morning mastery framework, that we have all of our girls read over at least a portion of every day. It's super, super important to know and to decree and declare and renew your mind to the fact of who you are, because you can't know who you're not. And words only hurt when you consider them. Words only hurt when people call you a name and you don't have an absolute in your head that I am that, I'm not that. The gray space, the overthinking, the overqualifying, all these different things, the minutia, the gray space in your head only comes when things are not black and white. If I know absolutely that I am beautiful, that I am strong, that I am worthy, that I do have a humble heart, that I am inclusive, I am friendly, I am faith-filled, I am a good wife, I am a good sister, I am a good boss, doesn't mean that I'm not open to feedback in those areas. But it also doesn't mean that I allow one stray comment from somebody who doesn't know me and doesn't know my heart to infiltrate and overdub what I believe about myself because of one comment on social media, one comment after a speech, somebody who saw me trip and now they think that, oh, there's the tripper. It's like, come on, dude, So knowing who you are in that moment, and in every moment, every day when you wake up, you put on your armor of who you are, and then you don't allow any arrows to infiltrate your shield and who you say that you are every single day and who God says that you are. And then the last really annoying misconception of character that I think happens as pageant queens is that we all hate each other. This is the reason why I created the Powerhouse Club, is because I wanted to break that myth even more and show the world what we're made of. But also I wanted to create a safe space where high achieving women that just naturally would gravitate towards each other anyway would have a place to grow and bond and experience life together. We have some live events coming up in Florida later next year that we're planning. We have so many fun things where I want to gather women together, high achieving women together, to plan the goals that we have, to plan the legacy that we want to leave, to plan what we want to do in pageants, out of pageants, our advocacies, our community service projects, and just get it done. Just create incredible resources that then these girls are going to take out into the world and be and belong in the world, outside of the club and in pageants, outside of pageants, and continue to just be awesome people that they are. High achievers are who God called me to coach and to mentor. And I want to be the fire under people's butt that activates them to be and do everything that they're here to do. And so women do not hate each other. The Powerhouse Club is living proof of that. And, my USA sisters and I that went to Miss USA together, we talk literally every day. I was at one's wedding last week. And it really is true that it's a sisterhood. But I think that you have to become the right person to allow that into your life. But I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to have the right team. Because when you have the wrong team, they're going to give you terrible advice, or even good advice that's just not for right now, not for you. It's good advice in general, but not good for you. And I think it's really important to lock in your team Olympia if you want to go to the Olympics and win the Olympics, not just the team that can help you win the intramural basketball tournament in your hometown, which is also fine. Just depends what your goal is. So, those are the misconceptions. I'd love for you guys to comment on Powerhouse Pageantry or in Pageant Winner Secrets, the things that you have had in terms of misconceptions of your character. That's going to be crazy, just the things that we get told every day. But I want to encourage you to stand strong, stand up for what you believe in, stand up for who you are, find people that you can lock arms with that love you and support you. And it's going to be such a great pageant season. So join the Powerhouse Club. We'd love to have you. Links are below. It's pc.powerhousepageantry.com. Right now we're running a special where you can get 2 months free and a bonus course featuring Miss America 2019-2020 and Miss USA 2020. You get to hear 60 minutes from both of them and talking about what it takes to get to nationals, why they think they won, how they prep differently between Miss America, Miss USA, and what's made them successful and how you can be too. So you get all that if you pay annually for the Powerhouse Club. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee for anybody who joins. Otherwise, you can join month to month, and it's 1/3 the cost of a coaching session. So we'd love to have you. Links are below. And with that, thanks for listening. I will see you guys next week. Well, thanks so much for listening to this episode. This is Coach Megan, and I just wanted to say it is 2023 in terms of the next pageant season, and we have so many new things going on at Powerhouse. We have a new brand, we have new logos, we have a new website, we have new resources for you, so make sure that you click the link below. If you are not already part of the Powerhouse Club, figure out how you can save $300 per month and $700 overall by joining the best world-class pageant training in the world that you cannot get anywhere else. Intrigued? Click the link below, and we can't wait to see you in that. Thanks for listening to this episode, and we will see you next week.